And then I wanted to ask you guys what you would think. No, I'm not asking, I'm just doing it. Hey guys, welcome to episode 22 of the Knit Now, Swatch Later podcast. My name is Courtney. This is a knitting podcast where I talk about my knitting, crocheting, and whatever other fiber-related crafts I happen to be working on this week. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, and I am coming to you from Pennsylvania, where I live with my husband and our 2 dogs and 2 cats. Everything that I talk about in the episode will be linked in the description box below. You can find me on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later and on Ravelry as Pup. We do also have a Ravelry group for this podcast, which you can find in the links down below. So for this episode, I do have a few things that I wanted to mention at the top of the episode. First of all, you might have noticed that my background is a little bit different than normal. Right now, my friend is staying with us, so I am filming in my craft room so that I'm not bothering anybody while everybody is working in different rooms of the house. So hopefully this setup will work, but we shall see once I get to editing this. So I have a couple of videos and other projects coming up that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I did record a sock week vlog. So if you guys follow the Love and Stitches podcast, Natalie hosted Sock Week. I believe that was last week. So I recorded a little snippet of me knitting on my sock every day that week. So I still have to edit that and see if it's worth even putting something together and uploading it. So that is coming up. And speaking of Natalie and her podcast, she is going to be hosting a fall garment make-along this year. So I thought that I would record a vlog going over what projects I'm thinking about doing for her garment make-along and kind of work out a timeline for these projects and then show you guys what yarns I'm planning on pairing with each pattern. So stay tuned for that, coming on my channel soon. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys about another idea that I've had for a little while now. If you follow me on Instagram, you do know a little bit about this. I did mention it in my stories, and I had a poll and all of that. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. So I have been thinking about hosting a yarn exchange this year. And I am planning on making it sort of an Advent style exchange where basically all of the participants would send in a full skein of fingering weight yarn and then a cover charge for shipping, which will be like probably between $5 and $10 just so that I can ship it back to you. So what you're going to get back are 10 different mini skeins from other skeins of yarn that were sent in by other participants, and I'm hoping to include a little tag that says what the yarn is, where it's from, and some fun things like that. So I'm still trying to gauge interest for this to see if I would have enough people who would want to participate. So if you would be interested, please let me know. You can either send me an email, you can comment on this video, or send me a direct message on Instagram. Just something to let me know that you are interested in participating if I go forward with this. Alright, so that was a lot of administrative things, so let's move into the actual knitting content. So first up, I do have a finished object, and it is my summer sock camp socks. And these are Husband's Favorite by Twin Stitches Designs, and I knit these on a US size 2.25 millimeter circular needle. I knit these on a 9-inch circular, which is my preferred method of sock knitting, and the yarn that I used is 3 Irish Girls in the colorway Witch's Brew, and I really like how it worked up. I love the pattern detail on the leg, so these are another pair of socks for my husband. And for him, I cast on 72 stitches. And then next up, I have 3 more finished objects that you guys have not seen at all yet, because these were a secret project that I was working on for my husband's birthday, and he does watch the podcast, so I couldn't show progress at all. So I made these little Mario mushrooms for his birthday, and I have this purple one, and then there's a green one, and a red one. So I do not have a project page for these because I was working on them at my mom's house away from here, so I wasn't keeping track of progress or taking pictures or anything like that. But I did link to the pattern in the description below if you were interested in that. So moving into works in progress, I have in my purple Nightmare Before Christmas bag. So this is my progress so far on the Be Still Tea by Twin Stitches Designs. And there is a sheep progress keeper right here from Handmade Life, I think. And so far I am really enjoying it. The yarn that I'm using is Hey Sister Yarn Company on their Alon C base in the colorway Patina, and I am alternating skeins using the helical method. And so far I'm really enjoying that. So I have been working on that sweater for 30 minutes every morning, and I'm seeing a lot of progress on that. So I think I will continue to do that and hopefully make tons of progress on that next week, and maybe I'll have a finished sweater by the next episode of the podcast. So the next work in progress that I have is my Maema cardigan by Nodecker. So this progress keeper is marking where I was on the last episode of the podcast. So a little bit of progress. I am going to need to switch to a bigger cord sometime soon. I'm just really not looking forward to doing that, so I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to bother showing you guys my honeycomb blanket because I haven't touched it. I actually had to take the hook for my honeycomb blanket to my mom's house to work on these mushrooms, so that did not get any attention in the last 2 weeks, so I'm not even going to show it. Alright, so the next thing I have to show you guys is my Scrappy Sunday corner to corner blanket, and it is quite large, so I don't know the best way to show this. Here is my adipose stitch marker from Simply Serving, marking where it was last time I showed it on the podcast, so I have made a good bit of progress on it since the last time I showed it. And I started running out of minis, so starting at this dark blue and going up, all of those are yarns that I dyed, and then this one, this like blue purple one, is Stranger Things by Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, and then this one on top is Grey Heart by Tina's Twisted Fibers. So I do have one more work in progress that is not knit or crochet, but it's still technically fiber related. So this is what I have so far. And this is a fox counted cross stitch that I got from Hobby Lobby. Here is what the packaging looks like. It's just a really cute fox. And I did find this on their website and link to it in the description box below if you are interested in picking one up for yourself. It's been a long time since I've done cross stitch, so I had to kind of get back into the swing of it. And then when I was looking for the link to put in my show notes for this episode, I saw that this cross stitch only got 1 star out of 5. There were tons of reviews talking about how awful it is and how everybody ran out of thread. So I'm really hoping that that's not the case and that people just don't know how to follow directions, because I have made that same mistake more than once on this, where the pattern calls for one strand of floss and I've used two because that's what the last color needed, was 2 strands. So I'm really hoping that that is not the case and that I have enough floss to finish it, but it's also made me kind of hesitant to want to work on it because I don't want to run out. So hopefully I start working on that again. I do have a couple of acquisitions today, although not too many, but one of them I bought a few months ago actually, and I have been so excited to get it, and it finally came. And it is my Bad Wolf Girl Gilmore Girls themed advent calendar. So came in this big huge bag full of these little packages. And if you are interested in participating in the yarn exchange, this is kind of what I was thinking of doing for the packaging. These are just little paper bags that are taped shut with a number on them, which I probably won't number ours because it's not really an advent, but anyway, just keep that in mind. So like, this is day 16. There are, I believe, 25. Where she included a list of colorways that are included, and I am really excited for December so I can start breaking into these. I'm actually gonna have my husband take these downstairs and put them in the Christmas bin so that I'm not tempted, because I have a tendency to open presents that I find. So because I'm just so excited and I can't wait. So I won't show the colorways just in case you got the same advent and you don't want to see the colorways, so I'm not going to show that. So yeah, that was super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to opening those. I think I'm going to get a really cute basket to keep them all in and put them in order, and maybe I'll record a vlog every morning when I'm opening them, so we will see. So I have one more acquisition, and it is another cross stitch pattern. This one I saw in the store. I saw this one in the store and I just thought it was so pretty that I couldn't pass it up, and it was the only one on the shelf. So this one is called Teal Floral, which I will also link in the description box below in case you were interested in that. So that's all for acquisitions. So I'm going to move into chat. So if you guys have watched the whip basket video and have kind of kept up with things going on there, I had a sweater that I started a couple years ago. It's called the Harley sweater. I'm blanking on the designer's name, but I did decide to frog that. I haven't done it yet, but that's what I'm going to do. And I think I'll only have one project left in my whip basket, so that's kind of exciting. As far as books, I'm still reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I have not made a whole lot of progress on that because I haven't sat down and read in a long time, it seems like, so I will keep you guys posted on that. But so far is really good. I read a couple of chapters while I was waiting for my husband to get out of my craft room so I can record this podcast, and it is really good. I just haven't had time to sit down and read it, but I am really enjoying it. I had one question on the last episode of the podcast from Susie White, and she asked if I have any favorite notions or knitting tools. So I do have a couple. So I thought I would just talk about what I keep in my notions pouch, which I did record a video about this, but I never got around to editing it, and now I have a nicer camera and whatnot, so I just never put it together and never uploaded it. So so I thought this would be a great opportunity to just talk about it on the podcast. So here we go. So this is my notions pouch where I keep all of my notions, and I don't typically bring my notions pouch with me. Like, I don't have one in my project bags or anything, but if I'm going to do some car knitting and I know that I'm going to need to cut yarn or weave in a tail or something like that, then I will grab it and toss it in my project bag before I go to the car. But I actually have a dish of stitch markers and scissors, and my end minders are in that little dish on my end table next to where I sit on the couch. So that's what I use on a day-to-day basis. But in my Notions pouch, I have this little container. It's a cute little cookie. I have, so in here I have a bunch of stitch markers and a couple of progress keepers that I keep in there just in case I need one. Here's a Christmas tree one. There's a little Christmas tree. So I keep that in there in case I need one on the road. I have these Knitter's Pride wool needles, which are my absolute favorite needles for weaving in ends, finishing things, whatever, because they have, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, there's a little loop on there, which makes it so easy to thread your yarn. So these are Knitter's Pride Pro wool needles. They're my absolute favorite, and if I lose, they come in a pack of 3, and if I lose one of these needles, I'll go out and buy another pack because I don't want to run out of them. And yeah, I get super nervous about that. So I also have one of these little leather, it's called a leather thimble. I have one of these in my Notions pouch just in case, you know, my finger is starting to get sore. We're on a long trip and I've been knitting too much and now my finger hurts. I can just slide that on and keep on trucking. And I also have a retractable tape measure because what knitter leaves the house without a tape measure? And then I have this pair of scissors that fold up like this that you just unfold, and they are really nice to have in my Notions pouch. They don't take up a whole lot of space, and then if we go on a plane or something, I can bring these scissors on a plane. I'm pretty sure I have brought these on a plane and it didn't cause any problems. I also keep this Susan Bates tool. It's a fixer tool. It has a crochet hook on one end and then a needle on the other. This is for picking, technically it's for picking up drop stitches, but I also use it as a cable needle if I absolutely have to. I try to cable without a needle whenever I can, but that's a nice thing to use as an alternate to a cable needle. So that's everything that is in my Notions pouch. That's it. So if you have a question that you would like me to answer on the next episode of the podcast, feel free to comment below or to post your question in the Ask Me thread over on Ravelry. And I think that's everything for this week. So thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I post a new podcast every 2 weeks. So until next time, happy knitting, guys. Bye.